Hello, happy Webinar Wednesday. The IPDAY team welcomes everyone to our interactive webinar on maximizing impact with new CASAS assessments. Before we dive in, here are a few housekeeping notes. If you have any questions, please type them into the Q&A option. Attendee microphones are muted, so you will be in listen-only mode. This session is being recorded and will be available on the IPDAY website within 48 hours. So I am Dr. Daisy Shaw from Palm Beach County, and I will be your facilitator today. I work as an operations specialist with the School District of Palm Beach County, and I am also a state certified CASAS trainer here in Florida. And I am so glad you could join me today. So let's make this session engaging and productive. With me today is Carla from CASAS. She is a national program and technology specialist who provides support to our CASAS agencies here in Florida. And Carla will be joining us shortly if she isn't already on the webinar to answer any questions you may have about CASAS. All right, so I told you a little bit about myself, so it's only fair that I get to know you a little better. So get your typing fingers ready as you are going to have the opportunity to respond to some questions in the chat box. Let's kick things off with our first question. How's the weather outside your window this fine afternoon? Is it sunny? Is it cloudy? Is it raining? Please let me know in the chat box. A, B, or C. I see a lot of storming and cloudy and rainy. Hot, sunny, and steamy in North Florida. Okay. A little bit of everything. Typical Florida weather. All right, so where I'm at right now, it is cloudy and it has been raining on and off all day today, basically. So thank you guys for participating. My next question for you is, did you attend the CASA Summer Institute last week? And if so, how did you join the fun this year? Did you go to California, or did you attend it remotely, or were you unable to attend this year? See, couple B's, couple no's, did not attend. Okay. I see one A with a smiley face. Carla. That's good. All right. Thank you guys for participating. We are going to move right along, and we are going to talk about the ABE ASC programs first. Okay, so CASAS reading goals is approved by the NRS through March of next year. However, the CASAS goals assessment for math is going to sunset on Sunday, June 30th. All right, so that is this Sunday that's coming up. So what's next? With math goals only approved until June 30th, which assessment are you switching to for testing your ABE students starting in July? Please let me know in the chat box. All right, someone said math goals 2. Good. Goals 2. All right. Math goals 2. And that's fine. If you're using TABE for your ABE students, it's okay too. But if you are using CASA's goals, this is what's happening. So for everyone that said goals 2, you are absolutely right. agencies that are using CASAS to assess their ABE GED learners are going to have to use the Math Goals 2 beginning next week. Okay, so great job to all the Goals 2 answers in the chat box. So again, Math Goals 2 is approved by the NRS at least until 2030. So for the math assessment, we are all set for the next 7 years. We're good to go. Now, as we transition, remember that math goals scores from previous years cannot be carried over to the 2024-2025 academic year. Only scores from Math Goals 2 will be reportable after July 1st. So ensure that all scores are paired from the same series for reporting purposes. With CASA's math goals expiring on Sunday, make sure your ABE math students complete their post-testing with this assessment. Remember to follow the CASA's guidelines. Students need a minimum of 40 hours in math before you post-test them with math goals by the end of this week. So beginning in the fall term, all continuing ABE and GED math students will take the Math Goals 2 pre-test. Starting in the fall term, all new ABE and GED students will take the new Math Goals 2 pre-test. And that is because students have to establish their math EFLs with the new Math Goals 2 assessment series before they can be placed in a math course in the fall term. Okay? Math Goals 2 is available both in e-test version online or as a paper pencil test. This test series covers 5 levels, helping to dive deeper into the full range of abilities in the CCR standards, that is our college and career readiness standards, and the NRS educational functioning level descriptors for adult basic education math standards. Math Goals 2 not only measures academic math and higher order thinking skills, but also keeps content relevant for adult learners by focusing on employment-related topics required by WIOA. If your agency administers paper pencil testing, please make sure that you have purchased the Math Goals 2 booklets for levels A through E. And just a quick reminder for programs using paper tests, you should provide students with a basic or a scientific calculator, not a graphic calculator. So you're not going to be providing them with a graphing calculator. You can provide them with a basic one or a scientific calculator. And students should never use their own calculator or use their cell phones as calculators. So make sure that they're not using their cell phones and they cannot bring in their personal calculators either. All right, so here's the scoop on how much time a student might need to complete each level of the reading goals and each level of Math Goals 2. Students must be allowed up to the times listed on the slide to complete the test, but most students will finish the test in less time. So for Math Goals 2, as you can see on the screen, depending on the test level, students will need anywhere from 50 to 90 minutes to tackle the math portion. On this slide, you can see the Math Goals 2 scale score ranges. It's a great idea to get familiar with these as you start using the Math Goals 2 assessment series next week. And on this slide, you are looking at the Math Goals 2 test levels, forms, and number of test items. As you can see, Math Goals 2 provides 2 parallel forms of pre and post tests at each of 5 test levels. These levels provide necessary placement opportunities to ensure that most accurate diagnostic information to guide mathematics instruction. All right, so if a student previously enrolled in GED Math takes the Math Goals 2 and their EFL drops to the ABE level, they must be placed in ABE Math for reporting purposes. All right, again, if a student previously enrolled, so if you have a student right now that is attending a GED level math class, once they pre-test with the Math Goals 2 assessment and their EFLs were to drop, you are to place them in the ABE Math for reporting purposes. This is because their new math EFLs are set with the Math Goals 2 assessment series. For instructional purposes, get creative with your schedule to ensure students receive the appropriate instruction they need. So we can keep their learning journey on track. Just for reporting purposes, we have to report them in the right level and all. Excuse me. All right, so Math Goals 2 covers a full range of ability levels in the CCR standards for adult education and the NRS EFL descriptors for adult basic education math standards. Test content continues to be based on CASAS competencies to maintain relevance for adult learners, including an emphasis on employment-related topics that are required by VOA. All right, so Math Goals 2 evaluates essential skills that prepare students for success both in school and the workplace. When you begin implementing the Math Goals 2 assessments, you will notice that it covers an even broader range of skills crucial for various industries. So here are two examples targeting key workplace skills. One question is requiring basic computation. Another question is requiring the interpretation and advanced analysis of graphs and trends. These math skills are assessed in real-world contexts, allowing students to demonstrate their abilities in more authentic and meaningful way. Now let's switch gears to the ESOL program. I saw a comment in the chat box wondering if they were on the right webinar. Sir, you are on the right webinar. We're going to be talking about ESOL now. All right, so we are going to begin this section with a fairly simple question. What is the new CASAS assessment series for ESOL called? Please let me know in the chat box. What is the new assessment series for ESOL called? CASAS steps. Not sure, that's fine. See a lot of steps. Good. Okay. Great job in the chat box, everyone. Steps is the correct answer. So all of you that said steps, you are absolutely right. CASA Steps is the new assessment series for ESOL. As many of you are already aware, STEPS stands for Student Test of English Progress and Success. Okay, that is Student Test of English Progress and Success. So as you're aware, Octave has extended the sunset date for CASA's life and work from June of this year to June of 2025. So if your agency is using the life and work series, that is fine because you are able to do so until June of next year now. However, please note that STEPS is ready and available to be implemented. Some agencies have already switched over, and some are going to do so either this fall or in January, which is great. If you are going to be transitioning in the near future, please reach out to CASAS if you need any assistance, as the CASAS team is here to support you. Now, this is from the DOE, the CASA STEP series is available and reportable now for the 2024-2025 reporting year. And actually, this brings us to another question on the next slide. I am curious about your journey with the STEP series for ESOL. Are you already using STEPs? If not, when are you making the move? Just let me know in the chat box. No, you do not have to wait until July 1st to start using STEPs. Some agencies, some districts throughout the state of Florida have already implemented this assessment series for ESOL. I see a lot of mixed answers in the chat box. I see a few A's. Way to go. You guys are already steps ahead of a lot of us. Some of you are transitioning this fall, so you're getting ready to do so soon. And then some of you are going to be transitioning in January. And I think there were maybe a couple that said we're taking baby steps. We're not transitioning until July of next year. Okay. Thank you for participating there. So in March 2023, CASAS proudly announced a 7-year endorsement for the new ESL assessments. So over the past year, CASAS has been teaming up with different states and local programs to create and roll out smooth transition plans. Programs across the nation are already making the switch to STEPs or have completed the transition. But that being said, I have another question for you. And that is, for those who haven't made the switch to the STEP series yet, I am curious about your thoughts. How do you feel about this upcoming transition? Are you excited? Are you just a little bit nervous? Or are you somewhat curious? B and C. Okay, that's fine. That's acceptable and understandable. All right, so I see a lot of mixed responses in the chat there. Some of you are excited, some of you are a little bit nervous, and some of you just are a little curious and you want to know what new adventures will steps bring. Okay. So as you prepare to transition, here are some key tips. First and foremost, outline a solid plan and schedule for the rollout. If you need help creating a plan, reach out to CASAS for assistance. Transitioning to steps on schedule helps reduce operational complexity. Adopting the new CASAS assessment series enhances alignment with the ELP standards, that's English Language Proficiency Standards. And remember that CASAS is always here to support your programs every step of the way. So now for those who have already transitioned to the STEP series, what words of wisdom would you share with your friends who are still on the sidelines? Okay, so all of you that said in the chat box that you're already using STEPs, this question is for you. Feel free to share any positive thoughts in the chat box about what worked well during your transition. Okay, a lot of B's and C's. So embrace the change. It's less scary than it seems. That is certainly good to see. And then a lot of C's as well. Prepare well and bring your best Dance shoes. It's a stepathon. Okay. B and C. Good. All right. So in order to make this transition smooth and successful, here are some things you may want to consider. Tailored training. So create specialized professional development sessions for different groups, whether it's for teachers, administrators, or support staff. Make sure that everyone gets the specific training they need to succeed. Pilot pioneers. Find volunteers to pilot the new assessment. Their feedback will be invaluable in refining the process and ensuring everything runs smoothly. Plus, think about it. They get to be the first to try out the new system. How cool is that? And information overload. Keep your stakeholders in the loop with all the information they need. Regular updates, detailed guides, and open communication channels will help everyone feel confident and prepared for the transition. So the CASAS Reading and Listening Steps Assessment Series, like I mentioned earlier, is aligned with the English Language Proficiency Standards for Adult Education, and it includes 5 test levels to support improved accuracy, resulting in better student outcomes. So CASAS Reading and Listening Steps measures the academic vocabulary and higher order thinking skills contained in the standards. Test content continues to be based on CASAS competencies to maintain relevance for adult learners, including an emphasis on employment-related topics. On this slide, you're looking at the steps, test levels, and test forms for both reading and listening. The form numbers are the same for both subjects, reading and listening, making them super easy to remember. The STEP series provides 2 parallel forms of pre and post tests at each of 5 test levels, and these levels provide necessary placement opportunities to ensure that most accurate diagnostic information to guide English language instruction. Okay, so these are the new test forms for reading steps and listening steps. And on this slide, you'll see the test timing for each level of the reading and listening steps tests. On the listening test, questions in levels A through D will repeat 1 time. Again, on the listening test, questions in levels A through D will repeat once. However, on the level E test, the questions do not repeat. Okay, level E, they will only hear the question 1 time, so they really have to focus. And this can also lead to a shorter testing time for completing level E tests. So as you can see, level E takes about 38 minutes, the listening test. Now, here is some feedback from agencies that have already adopted the STEPS assessment. This strictly focuses on the level A reading test. All right, so for level A reading, scoring is made easy. So answering just 4 questions correctly on level A will produce a scale score for a student now. Okay. 43% of the test questions in level A involve pictures, making it engaging and accessible for our adult ELLs. And then the reading steps level A test can be given as consumable paper test, allowing students to circle answers directly in the test booklet. And I know some of you are already doing this, but for low-level learners that are using eTests online, a touchscreen device is recommended to enhance the testing experience and ease of use. And these reminders will help ensure a smooth and effective testing process for learners taking that Level A test, Level A reading. On this slide, you're basically getting to see the reading and listening steps scale score ranges in relation to the NRS levels for ESL. And as you see, the scale ranges are slightly different for both modalities. So for reading and listening, you have different scale ranges. Now, here are some additional insights from early adopters of STEPS. Students may score lower. Okay, I'm going to say this one more time. Students may score lower. So the new CASAS assessment series, Reading and Listening Steps, is designed to be more rigorous. This alignment ensures that the assessments accurately reflect the higher standards now defined for each new NRS level. Lower scores do not indicate a decline in students' abilities. Instead, they show that the students' skills are being measured against more challenging criteria. So by raising the bar, we're actually helping our students meet the higher educational standards and better preparing them for success. Now, here we have perspectives from early users of STEPS. Based on the feedback from the field, here is what students and teachers appreciate about this new STEPS assessment series. So first of all, updated and culturally relevant content. The new materials reflect diverse perspectives and current topics, making learning more engaging and relatable. Enhanced rigor in content standards. Now, the increased challenge ensures that students are better prepared for real-world application and higher education goals. And the third one, user-friendly reports. Both students and teachers benefit from the new, easy-to-understand reports, which provide clear insights into progress and areas of improvement. So these enhancements are certainly making a positive impact on the learning experience for agencies that are already using STEPS. So we've got something to look forward to. Now, here are some key points to keep in mind when your program initiates the transition. Pre-testing with STEPS. So all continuing ESOL students should be pre-tested using STEPS to establish their new educational functioning levels, their new EFLs. 2, using new EFLs. So if their EFLs drop, okay, once they take that pre-test, the STEPS pre-test, and their EFLs were to drop, you are to utilize these new lower EFLs for course placement and for reporting purposes. You can create a flexible schedule for instructional purposes, so you can adapt your schedule flexibly to ensure that students receive the appropriate level of instruction based on their new EFLs. Now, this approach ensures that students are accurately placed and receive the best possible support for their learning needs. So I just read a comment in the chat box. Thank you for sharing that, Robert, by the way. Robert said, we have found CASAS steps to be much more academically focused. And Carla has gone ahead and shared a couple links in the chat box, so make sure you check those out as well. Now, let's briefly talk about the testing sessions. So depending on your program's launch date or launch scenario, the CASAS e-test testing sessions will need to be modified to administer the new STEPS tests for ESL or Math Goals 2 for ABE-ASE. So your program basically has two options. Okay, you have two primary options. Option number 1, you can adjust your current ABE and ESL testing sessions to administer the new series. So this way your testing sessions will look the same to proctors, but will administer a different set of tests. So the naming convention will remain the same with option 1. Or you have another option. You can add new separate set of sessions for ESL steps, okay, to administer the new testing sessions and the old test series at the same time, that is. Your proctors will need new instructions on when to use the new set of testing sessions versus the existing or the old set of testing sessions. Okay. Make sure every testing session is labeled clearly and correctly. If you need a hand with this, don't worry. CASAS tech support team can help you with this. And just send them an email on golive@casas.org and they'll get them added to your account in no time. Okay, so that is golive@casas.org if you need assistance with your default testing sessions. All right, let's look at some of our new and improved reports now. So check this out. Here you have 2 lists available of popular score and skill reports in TOPS Pro Enterprise. You can run these reports for individual students, classes, or even the entire agency to get a comprehensive view of the data. We will look at some sample reports on the next few slides. So I'm going to move right along. So get a comprehensive view of a student's assessment and instructional progress with this individual skills profile report. Now, this report summarizes recent test performance and connects it to life skills competencies and those CCR standards. What's included on this report? As you can see, recent test performance. So the latest test results for each modality, including form number, test date, and CASAS scale scores. Test details. So you can look at the test form levels and see how the scale scores relate to the NRS EFLs. And the number of test items as well. So find out the total number of test items, the number attempted, and the number answered correctly. And this particular sample here highlights competencies that were assessed. So it includes reading and math skills. It also has a GED predictor, which gives you insights into the likelihood of passing various GED subsections. So CASAS tests prepare students for GED success. Here are 3 essential reports you can run for individual students or classes. So here we have content standard report, a competency report, and a task area report. And in the next few slides, we'll dive into sample reports for each of these to give you a better understanding. So as you know, the CASAS assessments for ESL learners are aligned with the ELP standards, and the latest reports reflect their alignment beautifully. Here's a snapshot of the content standard report for reading, all right? All the new reports follow a similar format, making it easy to interpret and use. So let's look at this report here. So we've got descriptive information at the top. You'll find the key details about the students or the class. Below that, a bar graph illustrates the student's performance visually. And under the bar graph, there's a detailed chart that provides content areas, specific areas covered in the assessment. It also provides the subcategories, again, more detail about what was assessed. and ELP standards, the standards that were evaluated. Performance data, the percentage correct and the number of items assessed. All of that information is towards the bottom of the report. Now, this format offers a comprehensive look at student performance, making it easier for you to identify strengths and areas of improvement. Now, let's explore how you can use this as a compass to develop your professional development plan. So for teachers, look at the ELP standards covered on the Level C reading test in this report. So if 3 Level 1 ELP standards are covered, you might decide to focus on ELP Standard 1 for your professional development. So that is just one idea to keep in mind while you're training your instructors to interpret this data. Now here's a glimpse of the content standard report for math goals. Okay, just like the reading report, it follows the same format but is tailored to math content. And this particular report again highlights the consistent format similar to the reading report, making it easy to navigate. Tailored content areas focuses on the 4 main math content areas and their subcategories, providing detailed insights. This report is designed to be more user-friendly and accessible. So why is CASAS excited about these reports, right? First and foremost, you can share these reports with your students while conducting your data chats. Okay, student-friendly reports. So once students learn to use it, they'll find it easier to understand. And these reports are tailored to meet the needs of a diverse group of users. And that is why CASAS is confident this reports will make tracking and understanding math performance simpler and more effective. Here's another example. Now we are looking at a competency report. So just like the other reports, it follows a consistent format for easy interpretation. At the top, you'll find the important details about the student or the class. Below that, a bar graph that visually displays student performance across various areas. And then towards the bottom is where you obtain all the detailed information, such as competency areas labeled as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we have subcategories, which provide more detailed information at the two-digit level for the CASAS competencies. This format ensures you get a comprehensive view of student performance and makes it easier to understand their strengths and areas for improvement. Here's a look at the task area report. Now, the task area report also follows the same streamlined format. Key details at the top, bar graph in the middle, and in the bottom, we have additional information broken down by the task areas. So once you understand one report, you can easily interpret them all. And like I mentioned earlier, these reports are designed for students, instructors, and coordinators alike. With these improvements, accessing and understanding performance data has never been easier. Okay, so make sure you're utilizing these essential reports. All right, let's talk about the new CASAS teacher portal. And I want to get some information from you first. Have you heard about the new CASAS teacher portal, or better yet, are you already using it? Please let me know in the chat box. So there are some of you that said you've heard about it, but you haven't used it quite yet, and that is fine. I see a couple A's as well that, yes, I have heard about it and I'm already using it. That's great. Yes, it is online. Uh-huh. Pamela Jo Wilson and her team are test driving it. All right, so we're good there. Thank you guys for participating. So let's start with the why. Okay, we're going to focus on the why first. Why was the teacher portal created? So let's dive into the feedback that inspired it. Instructors. Instructors wanted more access to reports. Students. Students craved quick feedback. And agency directors and administrators, they aimed for better outcomes. And that's how the teacher portal was born. Now, let's focus on the what. What is CASAS Teacher Portal, right? So the CASAS Teacher Portal is a user-friendly web-based tool that integrates seamlessly with your agency's data in TOPS Pro Enterprise. With the Teacher Portal, teachers can generate reports for classes and students. They can review demographic data all through a colorful interface. You can enhance your instruction and meetings actually. So during instruction, you can utilize reports to support teaching. For professional development, you can streamline meetings by discussing student data, class trends, pre and post testing procedures, and ways to improve student outcomes. You can communicate with your administrator about getting started with the teacher portal, okay, if you haven't started using it yet. And to get started, setup has to happen by data managers at agencies that have the enhanced version of TE. So follow the instructions and videos on the CASAS website to set up teacher portal access in TOPS Pro Enterprise. So there are some great resources available on the CASAS website. You can simply Google CASAS teacher portal and this page becomes available. Okay. And for teacher accounts, the teachers are going to have to go in and set up their teacher portal accounts, or someone at the school or your in your district can go ahead and do it for them. All right. So this is why CASAS thinks you will love the teacher portal. First of all, teachers, the portal boosts your teaching autonomy. It supports data-driven, evidence-based instruction, and it keeps you aligned with educational standards. Can never go wrong with that. And for students, it offers personalized learning, it provides instant feedback on their performance, and it boosts their motivation and encourages persistence. And for all my administrators on the call right now, the teacher portal elevates program quality with continuous improvement. It simplifies compliance and reporting procedures, and it helps make informed decisions for resource allocation. So if you are ready to transform your teaching and learning experience, the teacher portal has got you covered. So for additional information about the teacher portal, visit the teacher portal page on the CASAS website. You can just scan the QR code on your screen and it will direct you to the page. All right, so on the next few slides, I will highlight some essential resources that CASAS has available for us. But before I show you those resources, I have a quick reminder for everyone. Training site reset alert, okay? The CASAS training site will reset on July 1st. So all training progress and certificates earned in program year 2023 and 2024 will no longer be available after this date. So what you want to do before July 1st, you want to go ahead and complete any of your ongoing trainings, and you want to go ahead and download any certificates you have earned so you can stay ahead and secure your progress. And if you do need assistance locating your certificates or anything like that, don't worry. They're on training.casas.org. Again, that website is training.casas.org. You'll find a helpful document that guides you on how to get your certificates of completion and how to save them. And you can check out the document. It is titled Start Here. It should say Start Here Training Tips and Frequently Asked Questions. Okay? So be sure to take a look and secure your certificates before July 1st. So you want to get that done this week. On this slide, you can see two QR codes. On the left side, if you scan that QR code, it will direct you to the ELP standards. And if you scan on the QR code to the right of your screen, it will take you to the CCR standards. Feel free to explore these resources at your convenience. And there is a question. Can you add the link to get the certificate? I am sure Carla's working on it. She'll have it in the chat box in just a few minutes.
Stacy, this is Carla Galleguillos. Thank you everybody for attending. And I just want to make sure that if we don't get to some of the questions, you can always email me at info@casas.org in case I run out of time, because I know time is going by very quickly. However, yes, any of the training questions, I love that you put that email address, AC, on the previous slide. And in regards of the cost of the enhanced package, I want to tell you something really great, and that is that Florida has a special pricing. And we want to make sure that Christine, who asked that question, gets a specific answer in terms of what that pricing is. And you can always email me at info@casas.org because yes, so that we can give you that special quote on the Florida pricing. So yes, thank you so much for letting me come into your space, Daisy, and tell your audience. There's 71 folks. That is pretty impressive. So Florida always shows up, and that is just great to see so many questions. So I'll keep on working on those answers before the end of the hour. Thank you, Daisy. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Carla. Thank you for all you do for our state. We appreciate you. And on this screen here, you are looking at yet another QR code. So CASAS offers extensive information about the Math Goals 2 assessment on their website. So if you scan this particular QR code, you will be able to explore these valuable math resources. Can't forget my ESOL people. CASAS also provides extensive information about the STEP series on their website, okay? So on the left side of the screen, you have a QR code that will take you to all things reading steps. And for listening steps, you can scan the QR code on the right side of the screen. And when you do so, you will see several different documents such as FAQs, blueprints, sample test reports. Okay, so be sure to check those out. And unlock the full potential of CASAS features and resources. Join CASAS for one-on-one support. Yep, you heard that right, for one-on-one support and helpful suggestions as you navigate CASAS assessments and software. So you can bring your questions, your needs, drive this session content, but you do have to register. So be sure to check out this link once you receive this presentation, or you can always go on IPDA's website to locate the presentation. And this recording will become available within 48 hours as well on their website. And here is additional information. If you need CASAS to support you, feel free to take a picture of this slide. And info@casas.org was one of the emails that Carla had mentioned. That is also listed on the screen here. All right, so IPDE values your feedback. Please share your thoughts about today's session with IPDE. Your feedback is incredibly valuable and it helps us improve. So if you could just take a minute to fill out the feedback form, that'd be great. Thank you everyone for your feedback. IPDE appreciates you. And I also want to say, thank you for joining me today. I appreciate you spending an hour with me this afternoon. Have a wonderful rest of your day and an even better summer. Thank you.